So what are we doing in the barn today? Well, I'm making art. Seriously. As a follow-up to last week's video, a friend of mine sent me a link to a website for antique woodworking tools, and I looked around there, and I did, after looking around that website, I did find this really cool advertisement from 1898 with where they were advertising this drill, this Green River Model AA drill. So I will put that picture right here. It's really cool. It's the this drill is on the far left in this advertisement. So yeah, that was really cool. So thanks, Deb, for sending me that link. Pretty neat. So yeah, I'm in the barn today. I've still got my Kawasaki four-wheeler in here. As you might recall from a video I posted a while back, I had a broken spark plug in this thing. I got that fixed and got it running again, but unfortunately that didn't solve the problem that it being that it was running crappy, which is why I tried to change plugs in the first place. So I've got the carburetors pulled off of this thing now. I just had them apart, cleaned them up yesterday. I did find a jet that I think was partially plugged in one of the carburetors, so I got that fixed. So I have to put the carburetors back on this thing now, and I don't know, I just not feeling motivated to do that today. I've got the fertilizer boxes and corn boxes off of the corn planter here in the barn. I've also got the hitch here. I need to weld on a bracket or a mount for the for a jack onto this and clean it up and paint it. So that's what I need to do on that yet. Otherwise, yeah, someone in the last video did mention the blue WD45 Allis Chalmers that I've got in the shop here right now. So what's the story behind the blue WD? Well, I'll talk about that a little bit. This tractor I bought in the early 1980s, and I bought this because I wanted a WD45 with a wide front. So that's why I ended up with this. It was a little bit rough. The wheels and the tires were bad on it. It was running on 3 cylinders at the time, so yeah, I did some work on this. I overhauled the engine. I put sleeves, pistons in it, ground the valves, and got it to where it was running really nice. And I used this tractor from the time I bought it, which was the early 1980s, until I quit milking cows in the spring of 2014. Until I sold my cows in the spring of 2014. All that time I used this tractor to haul manure in the wintertime and in the summer. Of course, in the winter I hauled manure every day, and haul it fairly often in the summer. But yeah, this is what I hauled manure with. I'll insert a picture here of the tractor manure spreader. So yeah, what am I doing with this now? Well, after I quit milking cows, I had this here. The transmission is not very good in this. The hydraulics don't work. The hydraulic pump is bad. The transmission, ever since I got this tractor, the transmission jumped out of third gear when you went downhill. It wouldn't hold back in third. And there towards the end, it got to where it was doing the same thing in second gear. So the transmission is pretty bad. The brakes, the brake drums are both bad on this thing. So yeah, it's kind of rough shape. But it ran really well and had the good wide front on it. So My other WD45, the one I bought, the one I got from my grandfather, that my grandfather bought new, it got to where it was leaking coolant down into the crankcase. I think it either the block is cracked. Well, I know the block is cracked on the top between the cylinders, but either the block is cracked between the cylinders on the bottom of the water jacket, or else some of the rubber seals are bad on the sleeves. So at any rate, I decided to make one good tractor out of two that had problems. So I got them in the shop one winter. This was before I was on YouTube, and I took the wide front and the engine off of this tractor and put them in the other tractor. So because the transmission is good in it and it's got good brakes, so I've got one good tractor now out of the two. So that doesn't answer the question, what am I doing with this? So, well, one day last summer, my better half and I were out on a road trip driving around, and we drove past a farm that had a couple of old tractors, parked down by the road. And she said to me, you should do something like that. You've got lots of old stuff laying around, and you know how much you enjoy driving past places and seeing stuff like this. I'll bet other people would enjoy seeing something there parked in front of your place. So I, of course, the women in our lives are, as they are so often right. I got to thinking about that and then decided that this I just had sitting out in the pasture for spare parts. So one day this fall, I hooked onto it with a skid steer, took it up by the house and power washed it, and then brought it in here. So my plans are to sort of make this a piece of yard art. It doesn't have to look real good. It only has to look good from the road. So I'm going to get this part kind of cleaned up and painted up. I've got the shell from the radiator. I'll bolt that on there. Bolt the gas tank on. Put the hood on it, and then what I'm going to do, where I'm not going to put any kind of an engine in it, but where the engine goes, I'm going to have this displayed. I picked this up in 1997. I was a Century Farm honoree at the Wisconsin State Fair. They do a nice little presentation down there for farms that have, like it says here, have been in continuous family ownership for 100 years. So, yeah, I picked this up in 1997 and put it in my closet. Figured I'd do something with it someday. Put up some sort of a sign down by the road. So, 23 years later, I think it's probably about time I did something with this. So that's the plan. I'm going to make something where I have this displayed here between the hood and the frame rails on the tractor down by the road. So yeah, this is my art project for the winter. So yeah, I'll be doing updates on this. But anyway, that's what I'm up to this week. So we'll see what next week brings. So until next time, have a good day.